out my pen and my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you're not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with a no, it's top
I got
notch.
that chicken to golf. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Right from the city.
Get out of my way. It's the coach. This is Madden 19, and it's the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go now. Everyone come. Ready? Blue ready. Here we go.
First down, Winston. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ready?
Winston on 3rd and 2. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
A second down throw for Winston. And his throw is incomplete. Gerald Everett is tied in, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Swanee! Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. Standing alone with a new NFL record, 32nd touchdown. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a second down throw for Winston. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll go on the ground, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On play action, Winston. He's going to air one out, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Fournette, a 1st down carry. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Jameis on 2nd down. He'll find Everett there, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A gain of 32 that time.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Winston. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
3rd and goal, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. On second down, here's Fournette. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a play fake here on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. That he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. Second down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Jameis now on first down. Completes it to Lee. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third and long for Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Connor. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, Charles, a moment that will never be forgotten. You're looking at the new career receiving touchdown leader.
And I love some of these records because a record like this one, you can never talk about it being selfish, because when you score touchdowns, you help your team. And to be the all-time leader in touchdown receptions, what a great feeling he must have at this moment.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Winston. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Winston now finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give a little bit of help.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
third down. That's Wilson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
On second down, Winston again. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Working out of the gun, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll throw again. Winston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll set up to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guy's playing it, are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Throw left side complete. That's counter. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Slot. They're going to try and throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He'll get this out to his running back, P. Ryan. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Ready? Blue lady. What's up?
On 3rd down, Winston. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Jameis to throw it. This is caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Again, it's Winston. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin in the AFC North as we head up to M&T Bank Stadium. Baltimore hosting Cincinnati. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. The Cowboys still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Gets fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Pass it, and now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, 46 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Second down, Winston. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Winston looking outside, and he's got a man. That's Porter. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
That is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
On play action, they'll throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
He'll drop to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. They go play action here on 1st down. Incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force it incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in? And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
The pitch to Fournette. An agile move, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They're going to look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll drop to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Santos with the extra point. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
Ready. Black 22.
Jameis now on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Ready. Black 22.
A first down throw for Winston. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup. 2
incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. First down, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready. Blue lady. Boys, head up.
Winston now from the 50. And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll toss it to Fournette. Fournette fighting through. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. as his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Ready. Blue ready.
On second down, Winston again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Winston, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the...
And that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing, too.
No, she's at least
on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Winston now to throw on 1st down. His throw incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 42. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long. On defense, they were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Santos with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Ready. Blue lady. Let's go.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
A lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? You try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not any chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready. Back, behind.
From the red zone now, Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll throw again. Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Ready. Blue lady. Check. Boys, head up.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
And now here is another interception. Snags it for the pick. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what are you doing when the game's like this? It's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the